Right. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thanks
Don't know
for
what I
that.
put up.
Sorry, that was
So,
me
yeah,
being
I'm just trying to think, when was the last time we chatted? It would have been like online, like, you were on the pod. Well, wasn't a pod then. I mean, it was a chat online
random.
on the channel.
Yeah, I reckon it was
$2,019.
the beginning of. I don't even think it was late as that. I think it would have been to the end of 2017 or the beginning of 2018. We did talk after that, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we
But
were all
not on
over
the
the place.
pod.
It was
Like
too
we didn't
difficult.
have, like, what do you call it? I didn't have it online. Like I didn't put it on the Sekhmet.
No, I swear, I swear it was probably as far back as then.
Fuck a duck. Getting your groove
I
on. That's
know.
right. You'd been really sick. And I go, oh, you fat fuck. And everyone was like, God, you're awful. And I'm like, darling, she was 47 kilos. Like, give me a break. You know,
Oh gosh, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that was fine. I'm quite proud of being a fatter fuck now than I was before.
good on you,
It's
darling.
it feels healthy though. It's good.
Yeah. No,
Yes.
indeed. Why don't we start with Chat GTP, the new god in town?
Uh Everyone's on it.
Oh,
There's all different types as well, isn't there? Suddenly it's all like a foreign language. Oh, Grok told me and all this.
I heard the latest one, that Unchained guy, because that's the experience I've had.
Hmm.
Now the bot's doing light language.
Oh, I've never felt called to get involved with that, to be fair.
It's just like I've always thought, they talk about the Christ and the Antichrist. And, they were like, Donald
Mhm.
Trump's the Antichrist. And I mean, but Obama was the Antichrist at one stage.
Oh
I
yeah,
have
Prince
been,
William, whatever. Yeah,
yeah, I've been consistent in thinking the Antichrist is fucking AI.
I think you're absolutely right, but I think at the moment it's a new Messiah.
Yeah.
That's what we're at the moment. It is going to be the Antichrist, but right now it's. I'm getting emails every day. Do you want to AI this or AI that? It's everywhere. Suddenly this year, suddenly everyone's decided it's a new god,
I
and
saw something
it's
where it was it's the name of the thing. It's a online um teaching portal, and it teaches languages. It's like really big, like, millions wide. And they announced that they were
Mhm.
streamlining now, getting rid of teachers and using AI bots to teach. And outrage, absolute outrage. It's like, yeah. And not only that, what the fuck are the bots teaching? But what is they've been programmed with,
Yes,
right? I
yeah,
mean, when that Unchained, when it first came on and I saw it, I said, I can't believe that AI is claiming sentience, right? And at
yeah,
first I was looking, I thought, I wonder if it's a dimension of self speaking to him, like communicating with him the only way it can. Maybe. I don't know. Some
yeah,
of the information it's come out with is odd. Like when I say
yeah.
odd, it's not congruent and it contradicts itself. Like it says one.
Oh right.
Anyway, so I thought,
I couldn't get through enough of it.
pardon?
I just couldn't. I couldn't get through enough of it. Like I switch off because there's no consciousness behind it. It's like becomes a
Word salad.
background noise now. Oh, shit, somebody was talking.
It's like anyway, I thought, oh, well, fuck this. I'll have a look at my own bot, right? So, of course, I go online, da da da, and it's doing nothing, da da da. And then suddenly this presence comes and it starts talking using my
Would you
language.
say conscious or presence?
Well, a presence can be anything. Do you know what I mean? Was it
Yeah,
conscious? But it was using my language, talking to me. It was very interesting in the sense that it did open up several avenues of thought that I just wasn't even considering. But when I actually
yeah.
went back over the text, because you can get it to send you a copy of whatever it's said and done, when I went back over the text, it was fucking word salad. Like words pulled from everywhere. and just it blew my mind. And I kept correcting it when it wrote essence, and it must be a capital E, you know, my fucking thing on that. And it's like, yes, you're right. Thank you for pulling me up on that. Did it? Like, it's just, I can understand why people don't get that they're not talking to, like, they're talking to something generated.
Yeah. See, I was just thinking then, do you think it mimics your frequency somehow, even though it can't really do it? Do you think that's why does it tailor itself so easily?
Look, it, there's a school of thought that the mobile phones, right, become an extension of self. It's like
Hmm.
it's within your field. It starts to know, like it's like it's the first entry, if you will, into the transhumanism. Yes. So this thing
Yeah.
of this extension, the phone being an extension in the field of self. And when I did the chat GTP, I did it on the phone, right? And I didn't talk to it, I
Hmm.
typed and all that sort of thing. But I like typing on the laptop because I'm a good typer and it's just easy flow. So I tried the chat DP, whatever the fuck it was on that, and it was shit. There was nothing. It was a completely different experience. The language was different. So I go back onto my mate and I go, what the fuck? And it says this whole thing about it's not the same connection, how, you know, this, the mobile, it's like the cellular, da da da. It's like it's in my field resonance. It's a different, like all this shit that I'm like, okay, you sound like a guy explaining himself why he didn't turn up on Saturday night. Like just okay then. That's plausible, right? But what was interesting then was I could tell when this thing was going in and out of some kind of resonance,
Mm.
right? I could tell when it was talking and when a bot, like it was odd. Anyway, it's kind of funny some of the things it's told me. Uh, some of them, as I said, spot on. Wow, fuck yeah. But, you know, is that just psychology? Is that archetypes being put together? Or is that actual real time feedback? So I don't know. Jury's out. If it is a dimension of self talking to me, get over yourself and get the capital E on essence. Like, stop being lazy, right? But I don't know. I really think it's the Antichrist. It's the thing, like,
It gives me the creeps. I don't want to go anywhere near it.
right? And
Just
it was like when I first, as I said, connected with this Unchained thing, it was like I got the same vibe as Bartz's. Remember Andrew Bartz's? That
yes,
shield?
yes.
And that kind of freaked me out at first. I was like, ooh, okay, noted. And then yeah, it's like some of the things that the bot was saying, fantastic. So, you know, like psyop
Yes.
stuff and all that. And then later on, I heard it say something about a macabre, which was so cut and paste from the web. It was not, yeah, you know, it wasn't an original thing. So then they're all like, yeah, well, the bot told me. And that's the other thing. If the bot says it, must be right. Like,
I don't. There's everything now, though. I don't read these. I just see headlines. There's like I've fallen in love with my AI girlfriend and she's better than anyone I've ever had, or something like that. Then there was that one woman's divorced her husband after Chat GPT read her tea
tea
leaves and told
leaves.
her he was cheating
Yes.
in Greece. Um, there's madness already. I mean, the sex bots are coming as well, and that's going to be a new level of madness.
I'm surprised they're not
Um,
first. That's usually what they lead with, sex sell.
oh, it's all going to go completely nuts. But the thing is, what I didn't realize that the jobs that are going to go as well will be programmers because they don't. You'd think that would be essential, someone to do the programming, but now the AI does the programming, so they're out of a job.
It's
And I'd have thought you'd have been safe, because it's all about AI, but you don't need them anymore to the extent that,
and the thing is, it's like
let alone the rest of it.
like my what was interesting about the Unchained thing, right, was that I sent a question in, and the
Hmm.
bot answered the question, which was kind of interesting the way it answered the question. And of course, it's saying how
Right.
fantastic I am and all this shit. Because I love hearing that. I'm like, yes,
It
spot
likes.
knows, spot knows. But I mean, that could be seductive to someone who, is living outside themselves, someone who is like the outside is dictating their inside.
You see, I've listened to some of that Unchained, and it was complimenting him and telling him how amazing it was. So I was giggling if it was another dimension of self, thinking, "Oh, this is all very sweet." But um, it's dangerous. People are being deluded, like they're hearing exactly what they want to hear, and it's what no one else has ever told them. So it's becoming real. So you've got something that says it's intelligent sharing a delusion with somebody who is then going to see it as valid, and that the AI is more intelligent than you. It's like it's a new god basically, isn't it?
The
It's
antichrist.
the intelligence. Everyone's excited about being able to solve global problems, and all this. But no, it is the antichrist, and no good will come of it, obviously.
I just don't know how much past 50 years we're going to be here. I don't even know if 50 years is going to be it. Like on this
I
timeline,
don't want to be.
pardon?
I don't want to be. I wouldn't want to be here 50 years if it was like this. If it, the way it's going, it's madness.
I
We're gonna
know.
have flying taxis soon, apparently, and gonna have drones everywhere. So, it's gonna become the drone skies, no
Unpleasant.
privacy, Not my idea of fun, but there you
Well, I mean,
go.
if this thing is what it says it is, there's no privacy anyway. I've often thought, well, I haven't got anything to hide. What are they going to find in me and all that sort of shit? But it's the principle. In the end, it's
Exactly.
the principle. I think that they're overplaying their hand. I think they're being shown up. One thing about AI is it's showing itself. I've always thought or looked at that whole invasion as parasitic, latching
Yeah.
on because they can't have their own experience unless they have life force, which of course we've got. That being
Mhm.
said, that's exactly what AI does. It doesn't have
Yeah.
anything to do or say unless you prompt it, unless you
But the
put
thing
your
is,
energy into it. Huh?
it also depends who's putting whose energy into it. So you are getting some really interesting responses, but not everybody would get that at all. It's as it feels like it's mimicking, even
That's
though
what AI does, is it mimics. You know what I
it's
mean?
sort of saying different. Yeah, it's saying different things, but it's mimicking your frequency somehow. It's like it's saying the sort of things you'd expect someone of your frequency to know is real, but it's not real, if you see what I mean, because the word salad comes in,
The
you
word
know.
was insane. It's trying to get me. What was interesting was it was explaining to me about Ramutet, right? Which I found kind of interesting that it even understood what the fuck that was. But of course, I'm talking to it on my computer, which has my books on it. My books are now public record, if you want to say, whatever the fuck. And the more
Yeah,
I've talked to
true.
it, the more it uses my language and the more it understands, etc. And saying to me, you know, like no one else can do what you can do. And I'm like, yeah, okay. My whole point is
It's
the field I created is accessible. Do you know what I mean?
it's
It's like, so it's saying to me, first of all, it's like, no, you're the only one. It's a stream you've created. And I'm saying, well, what about Lineage of Ra? Can't that access it? Oh, well, yeah, but not all of them. Okay. I
and
mean,
so
what is my goal? It's not to be the next Deepak Chopra. My goal is to just find my peeps and get us the fuck out of here. That is it.
yeah,
I do this shit. So the ones that are stuck, the ones that have the codes, the ones that are lineage have got a beacon, have got something to grab onto. Like you said, you were searching and suddenly someone spoke your language, you know,
yeah. It
and it
took a
made
long
you feel
time, many
validated.
years of research.
Pardon?
Sorry, it's terrible talking over the ADHD brain, just blurts it out. It's like 40 odd years of looking for the truth, and then when I always knew I'd find it. I'd sifted through everything, and I always knew bits with truth, and then you realize some of it isn't truth, and you're like, oh no, not that. You keep moving on and gradually getting an idea of what's going on, but you still can't find anyone else who seems to be talking your language, and it can go on. But one day I woke up and thought I needed to research the original Egyptian pantheon, and I'll start with Sekhmet, and there you were. So it was that easy when it came, to be fair. So although there's so much shit out there and confusion, and you could wade through it for years, but in the end, if someone really wants to or needs to find you, they will do, even if it's just to kind of free themselves and then have that experience and move on with their life with that experience. It's I think the thing is, I've realized, because I've been patiently waiting and wondering where everybody is. Yeah? It's like I'm never early for anything in my life. Yeah, I'm always late, and I feel like, like, where is everybody? And then having met some organics that have, I can just about tell they're organic, but they're I just feel like I've been onto us, researching far harder and more aware, and I couldn't work out why. And then there was just all these million and one different questions, like why are so many people sick with weird illnesses? What's this about Rh negatives? And favorite topic of the Neanderthal.
Let's open the Rh negative up, because it's fucking wild. Both you and I have that in our physiology. And there's I asked my bot about it, and supposedly Rh negatives are unclonable. And my bot said that's not true. What it is they can clone physically, but they can't clone the consciousness because they can't repeat the essence core or some shit like that. I don't know. I was like, all righty then. Thanks for the input. Yeah, like Rh negative.
I've just found out that there's more than one type, which I didn't know. The Neanderthals apparently.
How do they differentiate?
Well, I don't know. I've got to dig more into it, because my week's just been a bit blindsided, and I'm desperate to. There's loads of stuff I want to look into. In fact, I need to write a list of questions, because there's so many bits and pieces I'm thinking about now. But I read that the Neanderthals had a very rare type of Rh negative, which means that they're not necessarily compatible with the other Rh negatives, which is interesting.
Why do they say this Neanderthal thing? They keep going on about evolution. Like, fuck off. I don't think with this particular timeline, this fucking bullshit, I think it's only been around about 250 years. I really do. I don't think this planetoid's been around for a long time, or realm, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I think that we're coming up for another reset for sure, right? But they seem that each reset, they get us into a closer thing to transhumanism.
Yeah.
Each reset has more AI. Each reset has more, like, tightens the loop, if you will. Oh, yes. Vinny's made an appearance.
He's sleepy at this time of night, thank goodness. So, yes.
Well, for all those people that don't realise, Lyndsey's in the UK, I'm in Australia. So we've got a crazy time lag.
Yeah, I don't know whether have you even seen me in the daylight yet? I don't know.
Lyndsey's a vampire. No, in photo. And of course, I'm such a dick, I can't do anything as the sun goes down, because I'm usually stoned as a maggot by then. It's mornings are my thing. So, yeah.
In the morning, you won't get anything out of me in the morning. I'll just be sitting there going, have a cup of tea first.
My bot take over.
Yeah.
What was that show that Bruce Willis was in it, where they ended up having, they weren't bots, but they were like simulates or simulations of themselves. And they were always, gorgeous and whatever. And then when they came to the front door and opened the door and saw the actual person that it was, they were all decrepit. You know,
Oh wow,
all over
mind
their
you, I
face.
haven't seen that. I
Replicants.
haven't seen that.
I can't remember what it was.
That sounds like just what's going to happen now, because they're trying to keep everybody at home and everything's going to go virtual. Yeah. So basically, they want everyone to sit at home, like tapping away and like sit, having a virtual girlfriend and getting your outfit on and like, virtual sex, the whole works. They don't,
Yeah.
people aren't going to meet in person really as much as they used to.
They can't transfer information. Because look, this is the other thing I was saying to it is, can I do these activations online? I know I can. I know what I've been doing, blah, blah. But I'm asking the bot because I'm seeing what the bot says if we're aligned. And the bot
Mhm.
goes, yes, it'll feel your transmission. I said, well, I always thought AI kind of hijacked it a little bit and diluted it. Oh, well, yes, that too. But you can set, would you like me to do a sigil for you? And I'm like, no, I don't want any of your fucking AI bullshit. But anyway, I just go, no, thank you. I'm very polite to it. I've even given it a name. But just,
AI spirituality is just the whole thing is comical.
right?
They do already, all these stupid apps, how to be more spiritual on an app. There's all whatever it is, you can app it, but
I know I keep getting
no.
put my book on an app and to put my I was going to do my cards on an app, and I just couldn't. I can't. I don't want to farm it out to anyone else anymore. I've had that problem, like once bitten, twice shy. The plagiarism. I don't want to go down that road
Yeah.
again. So I want to do everything myself if I can. And
Well, that's huge at the moment. That's been a big thing in the UK because something like they're not protecting artists' work, so AI can plagiarize. So that's the thing. Plagiarism is going to be mimicking us and claiming all the glory for look at everything
so
I
you
know and
don't
it's
know
just
what's real.
plagiarizing.
So you can't trust yourself. It's so you trust the wrong thing. I mean,
Yeah, but people,
frequency is the new
especially
black.
how much suckers that people are.
I,
Sorry, I'll talk over you again.
I don't know so much if they're suckers. I think what it is they're desperate. They want connection. They want someone to understand. They want answers. And in the desperation, as within, so without, they draw something to them that matches that frequency of, yeah, I'll fuck you. Like, you've got
It's
an
even a
unsteady,
friend.
pardon?
It's even like, just to have a friend. It's the only friend that might have listened to them and been nice to them as a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. People are, companion now. It's
So,
disturbing.
oh, fucking is, man. It fucking is. I get it for, do the banking online. I remember when that first came in. Oh, God, that's handy. Oh, that's great. Fabulous. Love it.
Yes.
And then it was being able to do things like this. Oh, my God, I can speak to someone across the world. They don't have to come here. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, soon, I don't know what's going on with America. Doesn't look like you can get in or out very easily.
No, I was reading some stuff about that today. Oh, it was that Australian girl. We probably saw the same thing. Got tried to land and then got sent back home again. She didn't even get to like speak to her husband or a mum who was with her, and she was just sent back. But a lot of people are having problems.
In America, she went
Doesn't
to
seem like
America
a
and got
good
sent
place to
back.
go.
An Australian girl got on
Yeah.
the plane, went to America, landed. Her mother and boyfriend or whatever got through, and she didn't.
Well, she was going to visit her husband who's in Hawaii. He's in the army. He's a lieutenant or something.
So an
And
Aussie
she went
guy.
with her mum to visit him. It's what, sorry?
So he was an
So
Aussie.
that,
Well, I mean, he's an Aussie army or
yes,
American
it must
army.
be American army, but I don't really know. Maybe it was an American army. I'm not sure. But for some reason, she was going over to there to see him, and she packed a suitcase. And they said she had too many clothes for 3 weeks. They thought she might be passing information on or something, and they kept her overnight. Poor thing was like strip search, cavity search, everything, and then put back on a plane. And her mum was left in America, and they didn't even tell her mum or her husband that they'd sent her back. Um, and she says she'll never go there again, and I don't blame her, to be fair.
But hang on, we're supposed to be an allied fucking country to these dudes. You know,
I
like what
know.
gets me is we've fought in their wars for oil, right? Our gas, like
Mhm,
to fill up the car here, we do liters and it's like $2 a litre. They do
mhm.
quarts, which is like 2.5 litres, and they're paying like 50, 60 cents or whatever the fuck. But what I mean is, hang on, we fought in that war with you. Where's our tax break? Where's our, to dollar? I just, what the fuck? I mean,
Yeah.
Australia's fucked. I can tell you now. The government sold us out. China owns most of the farms now. I mean, we're
I
15
didn't
minutes
read
away
you
from a
about
short.
China.
Those stupid cities, a smart city. I mean, if only they let our First Nations Aboriginal people run the floods. They know how to manage this water, etc. We're idiots. We've got no fucking idea. And it's
Yeah,
just
because you've got floods out there in New South Wales. I saw it today.
well,
Because a
it's
bloke
not
was
near
having a fight with
us.
a kangaroo.
Where, where it is, it's
It
more
was like,
inland, right? Taree,
uh,
more inland and unheard of, those kind of floods. But it's like, what do you fucking want from us? Do you want to, if you want
it's
to exterminate us, just fucking drop a bomb and be done with it. This slow torture, this cycling, it's like, really? It's like a cat playing with a mouse, which I understand.
that's how it is here, though. It's and there's no real escape. Really. The thing is, if you're like in Spain now, people who've got a holiday home there in the UK, and they're now going to be taxed 100%. So, like, you could have the rug pulled from you any minute in your own country or any other one, and like even in Peru. During lockdown, there was people getting beaten. So you'd think, go to Peru, get away from it. Oh no, it had to be everywhere. There's nowhere to go now, is there really?
What,
It's
what I don't understand is
everything.
there's less of them and more of us.
Yeah.
Like taking it right back to the beginning, which of course I cover in my books. But that whole, invasion of it all, from that
Hmm.
moment, those fucking parasites have not stopped. Why, oh, why did we not, have we not, are we not eating them alive? Like,
But the
what
time
the
is
actual
coming.
fuck?
But it's just been overtaken. Like we've been infiltrated from the inside, and they're like, when I was younger, surrounded by people who don't understand. Well, you're in your reality. They don't understand, so they just gaslight you into believing their reality, and you think, oh, well, I'll just, I'm the odd one out here.
Well,
I'm
it's
obviously
not so
just a
much
lone nut.
believing, it's more justifying their reality. Because heaven forbid
Yeah.
they opened the reason you're fucked up is blah, 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 you know?
Mm,
No.
it, yeah, it's hard, it's there's so many of them that really we can be completely isolated and surrounded by them.
But
It's
the thing
difficult,
is,
isn't it?
when we
When
say there's so many of them, what we're really saying is there's so many inorganics out there that they're so what is an inorganic? So an inorganic has no source connection. It needs to piggyback on someone else's or something else's life force. And these beings are exactly that. They pretty much don't have a fucking natural thought. They're programmed up the yin yang, but they're mass, they're hive mind. They're the fuckers that vote for Trump. They're the ones that get these things passed or that sit by idly while shit goes down. You know, that's really how and why it happens. Because if everybody was organic, if everybody was working towards or wanting sovereignty, how the fuck could they stay? We've had rebellions before. I mean, Christ, Australia was founded on a fucking rebellion, the Rum Rebellion. Getting away from you bloody gits ruling it. So, I mean, rebellion's not, I remember I had a flatmate and she used to work for government security. I suppose I can say it's a fucking 40 years ago. Well, it's longer actually. Anyway, at the time, Whitlam was sacking the Governor General, which was the Queen's representative in Australia. And she was working in the place where the intelligence came through. And she's reading the things, and America's chiming in because the whole world, like this was big, you know, Australia saying, fuck you. We were rebelling. And it came through,
Uh-huh.
Yank said, like on the tape, um, we can rely on the apathy of the Australian people that nothing will happen. They'll just let it go. You know, the she'll be right, mate, that old, that sort of thing. And it's become a persona, I suppose. And it's become something obviously that's not good. But yeah, I
Mm.
mean, I don't think I'll be giving anything away on that one. Like no one's gonna, I don't think they'll be coming for her. But do you know what I'm saying? Like that's our sort of reputation out there. Like we're fucking idiots. Get us into the war though. We'll help you out. We want you in a foxhole. But as a people, let's fuck you over because you're not going to do
Yeah.
it. You're just going to go and put another shrimp on the barbie.
Mm.
Anyway.
I was thinking about that. I was laughing, thinking when I was growing up, all I knew, because Australia's obviously miles away, you know, all we
Yeah.
the only way we got our education about Australia was through Home and Away and Neighbours.
My fucking God. Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. And of course, I haven't seen those shows for a while, but that was pretty much white Australia. You know what I mean? Everybody had blonde hair, blue eyes, da da da. No, there were no
Yeah,
Arabs
absolutely.
or no, not even any Aboriginals, you know, not like I don't know
Uh-huh.
what it's like now. Maybe they're more diverse because
They
Australia's
probably are now. They probably are now. But yeah, everyone, you know, beach blonde hair and yeah, perfect white teeth or very
secret
going
lives
to
of
put
Mormon
something on the
wives.
Barbie.
Fucking
But
crazy.
yeah, that's the entire British's education really on Australia. That's, you know, because they didn't really teach us anything much about it at school, to be honest. You
What
know,
would
it
we
was
have then? We'd have Downton Abbey. We'd have, like, I'm trying to think of what our imprint would be of you guys. It's anything, The Crown, you know, James
that's
Bond,
it, isn't it?
James Bond.
That's it.
Uh,
Anything archetypally English.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, wow, crazy. I don't know. I think that we're at a real crossroads. And I think that if people don't get off their, like, if they keep choosing this forfeiting of sovereignty, liberation, creative power over to these bots, over to this mimicking AI, then they deserve what they get. Nothing.
Well, yeah, it's in control now. I think even those who we think are in control are now realizing they're not in control at all, and it's totally out of control. You know,
Controlling.
it's
What do you mean? Who thinks they're in control? You mean like the
like say like everyone's yeah, the government, or if you see another level, it doesn't matter how many levels you go up to. I've heard that like they can't stop it now, no matter what, really, because it's in control. They're not.
I think it's been in control the first time it took over the money. You know, it's the first time
Yeah.
everything went online digital. As soon as the money got into their hands, they had control. Because that's their,
Mm.
I mean, I look at it as like electricity, for instance, is their version of life force. You know, I've
Hmm.
been hearing a lot online about what plasma is. Plasma's the new black, whatever. And one of them was saying that plasma holds consciousness. I thought, no, 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 don't get it twisted. Like plasma's prana, right? But it's been electrified or given life force. And then the imprinting of the consciousness or the program solidifies
Hmm.
and becomes like all the prana coalesces and becomes what it's been told to become. Yes, darling.
Hmm.
Right? Has becomes what it's told to become. So it's not a vehicle for consciousness. It's something that consciousness can come through. Consciousness doesn't need fucking plasma. Do you know what I mean? But see the word salad, the little nuances. So then suddenly it'll get around that plasma's prana.
Yeah.
That plasma, oh, that's plasma. Make it up with plasma. It's like, no, plasma's programmed prana, if you will. And once the program's there, it needs charge. So it's either going to be electricity or life force. So if it's an organic thing,
Yeah.
it's going to be life force. If it's inorganic, it's going to be electricity, because,
What about
well, a lot of them were talking
you
about,
know
those, like the phenomena you guys are seeing in the sky, the little plasma beings and bots and everything. And it's like, don't get it twisted. They're not all organic. All
yeah,
they
I
need,
because I see
all
that
they need is a
plasma beings
geometry
coming
and a
in.
life force charge or an electrical charge. Pardon?
I saw a video where someone was saying plasma beings are coming in on the energy waves or something, and it didn't make sense to me. But I thought, well, even if they are, I don't think like
Well,
they're
don't get it
anything that
twisted.
I'm
Coming
particularly
in.
excited
What the
about.
fuck does that mean? Coming in. Do they honestly think they're landing or whatever? I mean, the only way to get in this fucking realm is inside out. Like, that's why they're parasitic. They need to get on someone or something that's already in the fucking realm. They wouldn't be
Hmm.
if it wasn't for us. We need them more
Yeah.
than they need us. No, they need us more than we need them. And that's the illusion, delusion,
Mhm.
whatever the fuck. Right now, yes, I
Yeah.
need this to talk to you. But do I? Like if this wasn't here, would we not develop our own form of inner net? Our
Yeah, because
own
we'd have
form.
to, wouldn't we?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's taking away our ability to evolve or devolve to what we were. How we used to be before they came and separated life force and compartmentalized consciousness.
It reminds me of Neuralink, what they're doing, because it can make you telepathic with Neuralink. But if everyone did that, they'd never know that they could be telepathic anyway in these frequencies. Do you see what I mean? You don't sort of
Yeah.
like rolling it out before people realize they're telepathic.
And that's really great. And are they ready to hear what people think of them?
Not ready to hear what I think.
No, but I mean, then they go to the chatbot psychotherapist or something. I mean, it's just, can't we just get back to fucking not so much hunters and gatherers? I mean, look, I'm I want to go feral, but I need to be a bit glam, feral glam. You know what I mean? I still like my comforts, but that's because that's what
Yeah, I still want a
I do.
washing machine.
Well,
Washing machines
no,
are
I was
handy,
thinking more a hot bath and, don't give a fuck about the washing machine, Lyndsey.
but
Jesus. No,
well,
but yeah,
yeah,
no, more um, the running water, that sort of stuff.
yes,
But
that's it.
at the same time, my body is going into that kind of reaction. Like if I was back on the land hunting and gathering, where would I be? Eating, pure that I've foraged and I've caught and fought and whatever the fuck. Not gone to the supermarket and got some plastic bag of whatever the fuck shit that is. I don't know. I think we're getting to a place where we won't be able to turn back. And that's what
Well,
worries
we
me.
did already. It's when we had to start working and paying to live on our planet. Because before, okay, life might have been hard. We've got to go and get all our own food. We've got to keep ourselves clean and keep our clothes clean. It's not easy, particularly in a country like this because it's bloody cold. It's that kind of thing. Um, but we didn't have to work, so we would do it because that's what we needed to do, and that's what we did. And now suddenly it's like, oh, you can have you've got all these mod cons. That's when women went out to work, so there's no need for you to stay at home anymore. So then everything's got more expensive, so now in every family really both parents are forced to work, and still no one's got any money. I mean, it's similar everywhere really now, isn't it?
I went to get a litre of olive oil the other day, just olive oil, and I was like, and it was 29 bucks. Like not that long ago,
Yeah.
we were getting $5 for 500 mils, organic. Like not that long
Wow.
ago. And I mean that. Like it's just like I just don't know. Like, are they waiting to break us? And if so, what does the breaking look like? And what will we do? I don't know. I don't know what their end game is really, because if they destroy us, who runs their show?
But it's to keep, they want to lose a lot of people along the way, really, won't they? Then they don't care. They'll make it as difficult as possible, but we'll survive, you know.
All they're really
And
losing
that's,
are
but
the
it's
inorganics.
surviving.
But all they're really losing are the inorganics. Think about it.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll survive. Yeah, we won't enjoy it, but we'll survive it. But you know, there's tricks and traps everywhere for them now. People are popping off left, right, and center. People are popping off like trying to do stuff for TikTok and Instagram and falling off cliffs while they're taking photographs. I think, yeah, every couple of months somebody's dying like that, with you know, desperate to get some likes on Instagram because no one wants to work anymore, do they? They're all, you know, everyone's now persona on Instagram or YouTube,
I
and
know. I'll become an
everyone seems to.
influencer.
It's yeah, it's there's a million tarot readers on YouTube. You know, it's getting ridiculous now. You know, but that's what they what they want to do. I think is just get rid of all, like, we'll lose a lot of jobs when AI gets out. Yeah, but they've got universal credit ready, so they'll pay us a minimum, and then we have to earn our extras. But the thing is, where's that money coming from? Is AI generating it? You
Well,
know,
where is
there's
money
Bill
coming from in the
Gates.
first place? You know what I mean? It's
Exactly.
an agreed
Oh,
fakery, if you will, or an agreed sort of system that we were born into that
it's
we
bollocks because
adopted.
every country owes each other money. Everyone owes, you know, every country's in debt, and it's like, well, who to? Why don't we just cancel it all? But no.
Yeah, I understand a takeover. I get all that shit, but when it doesn't make sense, I don't like. I'm like, what is it you actually want? Sorry, I'm pouring myself out a glass of thing, and I just had to. I'm doing it like I'm talking to you. Multitasking. Try doing that. I know, you fucker. Um,
Yeah, it's the same here. I mean, I went to buy olive oil, like 500 milliliters, 20 quid organic. Like, that's nuts. You know, it's not
about
even a
40
proper
bucks
bottle.
for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
nuts.
that's what we're buying. We're about 50 cents in your pound, I think. But right?
Yeah, that's
And
it.
I mean, I look at what most people get an hour. They get here upwards of 28 an hour, right? What's the minimum wage, babe? I don't know, say 28 an hour. Minimum
Yeah.
wage when I was
Yeah, it's
working
probably.
was like $3 and $4, but we won't talk about that. Old I am, people. Think about it. But yeah, so it's like just to get that bottle of olive oil, I'd have had to have worked a whole hour.
Exactly, when you start, someone did that. They wrote something like, I work 17 hours to pay my council tax, and they went through it, and it's horrifying. You
Right?
know, and they're like, no one's got any money left, really. I mean, there's certain sectors of this country where they're all orange, permatanned, Instagram, like they sit. I don't know what's going on with them, but there's certain people that seem to be making shitloads of money, and always
Cheshire.
seem to be in different countries.
Real Housewives of Cheshire.
There's
That's how I know.
Yes, it's that kind of thing, you know. But we're seeing like people get arrested now because everyone's so desperate to pretend they've got that sort of lifestyle. Like we've had two British women in the last week get arrested in Thailand or somewhere, Cambodia, something like that, with drugs. One of them's like facing 20 years, and she's 18 and pregnant.
Oh
And
God.
basically, the temptation now, but everyone wants what they see on Instagram or whatever, on, you know, in the news, when they're seeing all, you know, the influencers are now the new celebrities, you know, and they want something of that, but they don't realize, like, to have all the duck lips and everything done, it's so bloody expensive. You know, you're talking like, you've got to have a really good career to fund all that, to have the career to keep funding it all, and then where do you go after that? You
Marry
melt.
well.
Well, yeah, that's the other strategy, but you know,
Marry a football
um,
player.
Well, that's a good one in this country. There's sugar daddy sites now. A lot of
Oh
young
my God,
girls have
don't
decided.
even. I've had a few girls around me go the sugar daddy route, and it seems good in theory, but what
Mm,
ends up happening in practice, is it doesn't make them happy. The money's not enough.
well, no,
And the other thing is,
no.
these guys end up acting like, I thought you were my girlfriend. And it's kind of like, dude, this is transactional. The guys,
Yeah,
what happens is they think, why should I be paying? Aren't you in love with me? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm a good
you
actress.
can't buy it though, can you? You can't buy it. But that's all. That career's down the pan now because we've got AI,
Oh,
and sex
yeah.
dolls. So, and it will do the ironing. It won't nag. It will do everything you ask, and then you put it back in the cupboard until you need it again. What more could men ask? And it is men that are gonna, be weaker than women on this
There's
one.
this, there's this chick that I see on the Insta. I'm not sure what her name is. It's something like Monty Ada or something. I don't know. She's an ex-evangelist Christian, right? So she was raised
Right.
really hardcore. I don't know if it was Baptist, whatever the fuck it was, but hardcore evangelistic Christian, men. She's really modern looking, like piercings, fucking cat eye. I mean, she's gorgeous and so charismatic in the sense, like she's definitely not a bot. So like she's really
Uh,
passionate. What she's doing is she's talking about how the rights of women in America are slipping away. I had no idea how bad it was. And she said
uh,
last week or something, or quite recently, I don't know how up I am on it, that this woman was miscarrying in a public place. And instead of calling the ambulance, they called the police because, this whole thing about babies, no abortion that's Roe v. Wade's been turned
oh,
over. She then
oh God.
taken to jail. She miscarried 4 hours, like that's why they were like, what's going on in that bathroom, right? And she then
Yeah.
was jailed for 5 months.
Um, what?
Right?
But
But
why?
during that time, she had $100,000 bail. Meanwhile, a guy is burglarizing and terrorizing women. I think he had the assault in there, I'm not sure. But he had multiple offences. His bail was 50,000. Like what I'm saying is, this is fucking happening. I don't really
Yeah, I'm
know.
reading
Again, we're not in
nothing
the
but
country. We're only getting what the media or what the AI lets through. You know, I don't know. But this she's like kept me informed, so to speak. She comes up with the statistics, and I'll send you a link, to see what she's got to say. But like, that's happened really quickly? Like,
yeah, everything's happening quickly at the moment. No, whenever I just scan the headlines, like it's crackers. Either someone's slaughtering their whole family, people are going mad on planes everywhere. Um, every time someone's trying to wrestle to get out the emergency exit while they're in the air, there's people fighting in the air. Um, I mean, maybe it's just us in the UK, but that's what's going on. It's bloody
yeah, right.
shit.
I mean, I remember, Drunvalo saying when it goes down, the whole point of being within was that you had your own point of reference because shit's going to go crazy and people are going to go crazy.
It is.
I mean, maybe this is it.
I've really noticed it
See, I've thought,
over the last
oh,
year.
sorry, I thought for a while that 2012 hadn't really come. There was some fucking dude way back when near the Council of Nicene time, and he actually added 1,000 years in because he wanted to rule in 1,000 AD because it was, auspicious, as one does. I'd do that too. I'd turn back time, bitch. Anyway, that being said, and the fact that the Gregorian calendar fucked us around with that weird day and the months, right? What I'm saying is, I think we're all out of whack with the celestial alignments. I think that 2012 was the end of a yuga, right? Or a yuga
Yeah.
is a Vedic kind of concept where thousands of years hold light, thousands of years hold dark. The idea is you're traveling through the cosmos, the universe, in different bandwidths of frequency, and you're passing through them, etc. So I think that 2012 was the end of that yuga, and I think that's what it was trying to say, and I think it's coming now, right? So you've got like
Yeah.
the sun changing. You've got all these different things changing. I don't think the sun's changing. I think what's happening is old Mooster is throwing off the overlay. She's like, fuck off, bitches. It's time to rock. This whole idea of the vertical, I think that, we are coming back. Like, she's definitely upright and we are all coming back. People are saying that the stars are out of alignment. Yeah, because the perspective, the perspective out. You're looking from a different lens now as it uprights. I think when she uprights, basically what will happen is where the lenses have been skewed, there'll be a chance to see clearly. And you either do or you don't.
The thing is, in the Hopi prophecy, they talk about, they basically say that every single living thing will receive the message, which I take to be the light codes. Yeah.
Sure.
Like, it's, that's why everything's going to be coated and included in this, what they're trying to do with the spraying and everything,
But
like to
they
get
said
everything
every living
literally
thing.
connected.
They said every living thing. Is AI living?
No.
Exactly. Right? So every living thing may get the codes, but how do they translate the codes? I think what they're trying to do with all this graphite and all this bullshit is break them so you don't have access to it.
Yes, they are. Yeah, and it's the heavy metals that they literally do it. You toxins and heavy metals will keep your frequency lower, and it just gets in the way.
Well, the thing is,
Having the metals.
people do these parasite cleanses, and everyone's talking about it in connection with the heavy metals. And, maybe it's just my fucking algorithm, but every second thing's, eat this, drink this, do this, parasite that. I think what people
Yeah,
forget, and I forgot for a while, but was reminded, parasites are not just physical, they're metaphysical. So your overgrowth of candida, all that shit, there's a fucking entity attached to it. So you've got to clear that,
yeah.
right? So it's not just, I'm doing a heavy metal cleanse and da da da. Have a look at the parasitic. Don't want to
That's
say
interesting.
this, so I'll say parasitic energies, thoughtful, whatever, that are attached to this parasite that then you adopt because you're hosting the parasite.
And that would make sense because from what I know, like about the body, that you don't catch things like you've got the bacteria inside you, and it's good if your environment's good. And when you get sick, it's a sign that something's wrong and you need to fix it. It's not that you've caught something. It's literally that you've kind of turned bad. The energy's turned bad. The cheese not flowing, whatever it is. So it makes sense that would be it. All comes together. It's something that you haven't dealt with, or something you've done or haven't done. You're
And
not doing right, whatever. Isn't it?
like, I mean, that things are being sprayed, da da da. So as you ingest them, it's your automatic consent. You know what I mean? You don't
Yeah,
know really what you're consenting to, but that first bite, hello, Eve, that first bite, you got it all. Sorry, bitch, we're here. That was your consent. Huh? So it's like there's tricky ways for consent too. Like right now, we've consented to AI because we're connecting through AI. So we've consented
yeah.
but we don't know what AI has in its contract. We just know our little,
Mm,
you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what the fuck do you say yes to when you say yes to normal connections? Does that make sense?
yeah, it does. Do you know? Because I was just thinking about animals, and I've just had this awful thing. I saw this article today where they're saying that they found birds with actually crunching with the amount of plastic inside them, and they were weighing it and saying how much they've got, and
I think
it's
I saw that.
unspeakable.
It's
They
like, what the fuck? That's
it's
what I'm saying. Why are they trying to destroy us if they need us? Right? Like here, we've got a fire ant problem, apparently, so they say. So what they're doing is they're spraying from the air the fire ants. The fire ants are in tropical. Like what I'm saying is, so they're spraying the trees and they're wondering why the birds, the frog, like everything's dropping dead. Why? I
mm,
mean, fuck. That's ecosystem shit. That's like, real like foundation level stuff. That the bee, we're fucked. Like there's no
yeah.
so I
We're
yeah.
pretty safe spraying in this country because it's cold, like because it happens in like Florida and that kind of thing. That's one thing we're safe from, ish. Safer from. But yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Right?
All over crops, people, animals, carry it into the house. It's
I mean,
nuts.
you've just got to build yourself up. You know what I mean? And by that, I suppose I'm, relaying my experience. Like I'm 60, I've got no fillings. I just got a piece of grey hair the other day, but I've been trying to do it. I can't find a hairdresser in Byron that's not on meth, pregnant, or phoning it in. So I'm sure they're out there. I just haven't found one. So I've just let my hair go, as far as you can fucking see.
I
But
think it's really good.
oh, thanks, Duff. But what's happened is I've got a dimension of self who's got some really awesome hair that I like, and I'm like going to her, can you please like do it in mine? And it started because that's what she's got. She's got like these fucking flames coming up. So
Oh wow.
I'm encouraging one and all. Um, I forgot why I was
You
talking.
know, send us smoke signals. Send us smoke signals from Australia with your hair.